Can you imagine waking up one day and the cheapest meal you depend on is just gone? Not next year, not someday, but in the coming months. The fast food chains that once held America together, feeding millions of middle-class, low-income people and retirees, are collapsing. McDonald's has quietly shuttered over 500 outlets in just a year. More than 4,000 Subway stores have vanished from the map since 2014. KFC and Wendys are retreating from hundreds of neighborhoods where they were once the only hot meal in sight. This isn't just about food, but the last affordable bite vanishing from the American household. People aren't just losing access to what used to be affordable. Maybe what is really lost here is the common trust. We thought fast food was always there, cheap and ready for us. But with each quiet closure at a time, it has gone from a comfort to a heartbreak, and perhaps stick with it a feeling of being left behind. And now the question lingers. If even these places are disappearing, then who exactly is this country still built for? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. And today, we discover 20 big restaurant chains going out of business in 2025. Let's begin with the most shocking one. Number 1, McDonald's. Have you noticed that the golden arches, once the most recognized symbol of American fast food, have quietly vanished from every place we grew up with in early 2025 McDonald's? The place that once served over 69 million people grabbed breakfast before work, treated their kids after school, or stopped during long road trips, is now quietly disappearing from the very neighborhoods that once relied on it for more than just a meal. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, McDonald's was deeply embedded in American culture, with over 15,000 locations across the US at its peak. It was the go-to stop for many middle-class and low-income residents, and the Happy Meal was a weekly treat for millions of children in the good old days. But now, those memories sit beneath dimmed signs and empty booths. Between 2021 and late 2024, over 500 US McDonald's locations closed, many in smaller cities, rural highways, and tourist-dependent areas. The US Travel Association reports a 12.4% fall in domestic tourism, including over 5 million fewer Canadian visitors. That leads to the closures of many stores, each revealing a deeper disconnect. Add to that, the Big Mac combo now averages between $13 and $15, straining the wallets of hourly workers and retirees. For many, the choice is now between a burger and a tank of gas. They couldn't afford it all. Meanwhile, the modernized McDonald's experience, dominated by ordering kiosks, prepackaged menus, and minimal human interaction, has alienated its core audience. According to a Morning Consult survey from 2024, 62% of customers aged 45 and older said they feel uncomfortable or unwelcome in these new environments. The warmth is gone, replaced by sterile lights and touchscreen glitches. But not everyone remembers the scandal that shattered McDonald's image. In 2021, private texts from the CEO blaming parents after a fatal police encounter triggered a firestorm. Protests spread across major cities, and the trust cracked. People already joked about soggy fries and shrinking portions. But what came next cut deeper. By 2024, lawsuits accused the chain of hiding health risks, while TikToks exposed dirty kitchens, reused oil, and staff walking out mid-shift. Maybe what changed here isn't the food, but the feeling that no one at the top cares anymore. But in places where McDonald's once served as the only sit-down meal within a 30-mile radius, closures have left behind heartbreaking consequences. Every shutdown strips away cheap meals for the elderly, safe spaces for the poor, and the last-paying shifts that helped families cover rent or groceries. When McDonald's pulls out, someone's chance to eat, to work, and to get by also vanishes following the food. Amid the collapse, some hope is still growing. With fewer fast food stops, more Americans are cooking at home and planting gardens again. In some areas, emergency visits linked to obesity have started to drop. Could this be a quiet reset? Do you support growing your own food and eating clean? Even if it means letting go of convenience, but as those golden arches go dim, some are still asking, was this inevitable, or have we simply forgotten how to feed each other better? Keep watching, because number 2 will make you shocked about how many people get laid off when this chains fall apart. Number 2, Burger King. The second largest burger chain in America is now facing a huge crisis. From 2020 to late 2024, Burger King shut down more than 400 locations across the United States. Most closures struck the Midwest and the South, where it once thrived as the affordable, customizable choice for millions of middle-class and low-income people. The chain that once promised have it your way is now fading from the very areas that trusted it on a hard day's budget. In its golden years, especially between the 1980s and early 2000s, Burger King was a cultural force. Its Whopper, with flame-grilled beef and bold toppings, symbolized freedom of choice, a value etched into the psyche of middle America. By the early 2000s, Burger King had over 11,000 locations nationwide and was once the special place where you could eat what you wanted, how you wanted, without spending a fortune. But that freedom is now evaporating. According to Restaurant Business Online, in states like Texas, Kentucky, and Ohio, store traffic plunged by up to 30%. That forced many highway locations to turn into liabilities. The interiors remain untouched since 2008 with dim yellow lights, scratched plastic chairs, and that unmistakable scent of recycled fryer oil. Meanwhile, competitors like Shake Shack and Five Guys offer freshness, design, and modernity. Some predicted that those chains could replace Burger King soon. What's your opinion about it? But the final blow on Burger King came from the internet. The 2021 tweet "Women belong in the kitchen" backfired spectacularly, leading to an 18% drop in brand favorability in under 30 days. Franchise owners later sued the corporation for non-transparent supply policies and inflated pricing post-COVID, the most devastating consequence. However, lies and lost livelihoods. According to estimates from the counter and labor union surveys, the 400 store closures likely resulted in over 19,000 workers being laid off, many in rural towns where other job options are scarce. Now people face unemployment with no severance, no safety net for SNAP recipients and retirees. A $12 Whopper combo that used to be their only hot meal is now unaffordable, across empty parking lots. Closed Burger Kings have become ghostly reminders of how fast comfort can vanish. But even in this collapse, some see a hidden opportunity. Without fast food, local food co-ops report rising interest, and county health departments in Arkansas and Mississippi have seen a slight decline in sodium-related ER visits since the start of 2024. Let's make Americans healthy again. But could Burger King's fading presence be another sign that the American map is quietly redrawing itself, leaving fewer familiar places for people's choice? And while Whopper lovers grieve the loss of a favorite sandwich, others wonder, maybe this loss is what it took to start healing our food system. Number 3, Pizza Hut. There was a time when walking into a Pizza Hut felt like entering a small, red-roofed palace of celebration. In the 1980s and 1990s, it was the closest thing to a fine dining experience many working-class families could afford. The vinyl booths and the sizzling pan pizza delivered to your table. It was where birthday candles were blown out, report cards celebrated, and weekends remembered. But in 2025, that dining room is nearly empty. Between 2017 and the end of 2024, Pizza Hut shut down over 1,500 locations across the U.S., with more than 300 closures in 2023 alone. Nationwide, less than 15% of stores now offer dine-in service. States like Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, once Pizza Hut strongholds, are now left with scattered carryout locations in strip malls. The causes aren't hard to trace. In the modern days, Pizza Hut's dine-in model, designed for groups and families, has struggled to adapt. Rivals like Domino's optimize for fast delivery. Blaze and MOD Pizza allow full customization. Pizza Hut clung to old formats, slow service, and fixed menus. High rent for large dining spaces and a lack of innovation have turned the brand into a relic. Add to it the scandal. In 2023, health inspections in Illinois and New Jersey revealed hygiene violations. Online, viral clips showed undercooked pies and delayed orders. Once trusted, Pizza Hut is now seen by many as disqualified and outdated. The fallout is felt far beyond pizza. In suburbs with few options, families no longer have a place to sit down together affordably. Part-time workers, many earning just $9 to $13 per hour, were laid off en masse, especially in mall-based stores. What remains in many towns is silence, empty booths and cold ovens. As Pizza Hut fades, so does a chapter of the American family memory. Because it wasn't just about pizza, but about having a seat at the table, even when you didn't have much money. Number 4, KFC. There was a time when a box of KFC chicken meant something more than food. It was warmth after a tired working day, the centerpiece of a family gathering, or the backup plan when mom couldn't cook. For millions of working class and retired Americans, it was once a small luxury that brought people together. But by 2025, that red and white bucket is becoming a relic. According to Statista and Yum Brands, over 500 KFC stores have shuttered since 2021, with more than 100 closures in 2024 alone. Major states like New York, Illinois, and California have seen sales decline 15 to 20% for 3 consecutive years. Google Trends shows that searches for KFC near travel hubs are down 22% compared to 2019. The collapse isn't mysterious. KFC relies heavily on travel-based locations. When Canadian visitors disappeared in the past year, sales followed. Unlike Popeyes or Chick-fil-A, KFC hasn't refreshed its menu, offering the same combos while others evolve with regional specials and trendy sandwiches. A 2-piece meal now costs between $11 and $13, nearly matching casual sit-down restaurants. For many, that price no longer adds up. The damage deepens with trust. People already know about the low-quality meals, but undercover footage in 2023 still shocked many, showing sick chickens in grim conditions. The backlash spread globally. Add to that, US customers have reported delivery errors, shortages, and missing items. On platforms like Reddit and DoorDash, complaints multiply, and the human impact is growing. Retirees and shift workers lose a reliable, hearty option in rural towns. KFC was often the only hot meal after 8 p.m. now. Many face long drives or settle for frozen gas station food. With the closures, part-time workers lose thousands of jobs across the country, creating ripples in already fragile economies. When even the food we saved for budgeting days disappears, we're left with a quiet question. What else is being taken from those who have so little to begin with? Number 5. Wendys. Didn't shout like Taco Bell or dazzle like McDonald's. Wendys simply offered square burgers, baked potatoes, served in plain wrappers by staff who often knew the names of their regulars. In many areas, Wendys felt like a place that belonged, where a driver could rest, a retiree could sip a $1 coffee, and a worker could grab dinner after a long day. But that warmth is now vanishing. As of 2025, Wendys is preparing to shut down over 400 underperforming U.S. locations by year's end, according to Restaurant Business Online and QSR Magazine. Earnings reports show sales declines of over 14% in former strongholds like Ohio, Georgia, and Tennessee. Combo meals like the Dave Single now exceed $10 in many cities, nearly double what they cost 5 years ago. The reasons run deep. Many Wendys locations suffer from aging interiors, faded floors, broken soda machines, and lighting that hasn't been updated since 2010. Meanwhile, competitors offer inviting spaces with greenery and digital menus. Customer complaints are rising sharply: incorrect orders, cold food, and sluggish service plague online reviews. Wendys' rigid menu, unchanged for years, feels out of step in an era where diners want customization and eco-conscious options. Worse still is the perception of neglect. In 2022, Wendys faced backlash for refusing to raise wages during record inflation, even as its CEO took home over $10 million. The brand lost trust from the very working-class customers it once championed. Labor protests and boycotts spread across low-income regions. The loss isn't just financial. People have fewer places to gather. Towns with no Chick-fil-A or MOD pizza now face a longer drive for a warm meal. For many young people, Wendys was their first part-time job, a stepping stone that no longer exists. And if the decline continues, we lose more than burgers. We lose the spaces that anchored a working-class rhythm of life. Shake Shack offers clean counters, efficient service, and customizable meals, while Wendys often struggles with speed, accuracy, and atmosphere. Chick-fil-A delivers hospitality with each tray, while Wendys is increasingly associated with empty seats and unanswered calls. If you've eaten at all three, where would you return, and which one made you feel like you mattered? Number 6, Taco Bell. Taco Bell used to be there when nothing else was, after a long shift, during midnight drives, or on a rushed lunch break. People counted on that hot burrito, that gooey taco, and the giant soda to hold them over. It was cheap, loud, fun, and slightly rebellious. The Dorito shell, the Crunchwrap Supreme. The idea that fast food could feel like a treat without breaking the bank. But the noise is fading. According to Yum Brand's 2025 Q1 report, Taco Bell's U.S. sales dropped 11.3%, the sharpest decline since the pandemic. Over 350 stores have closed since 2022, especially in urban and Midwest markets. Placer.ai shows foot traffic dropped over 17%, with closures accelerating in areas like Arizona and California. Complaints about slow service, food temperature, and wait times have surged, particularly in stores once known for staying open 24/7. The Cause A brand stuck in place. Taco Bell hasn't delivered any breakthrough product in years. While competitors like Chipotle thrive with clean branding and customizable meals, Taco Bell still pushes aging combos with rising prices. A 2-burrito meal now tops $11, up nearly 60% since 2018, but often arrives cold and bland. Trust has also eroded. Viral TikToks and Reddit threads in 2023 accused the chain of using questionable beef and reheated ingredients. Consumer Reports flagged dangerously high sodium and trans fat levels. For older customers and families, these warnings hit hard. The result is fewer late-night meals for students, fewer dinner options for seniors living alone, fewer trusted pit stops for overnight workers. When Taco Bell disappears, it takes away the last accessible, hot meal for those with the least. Chipotle thrives with fresh bowls and real-time prep. Local taco trucks offer flexibility and spice. Taco Bell, it's stale and slipping, if you've tried both. Who earned your return visit? Who respected your hunger more? Number 7, Subway. Subway once felt like a small revolution, a fast food chain that lets you build your own sandwich, load it with vegetables, skip the fryer, and still walk away full for under $10. At its peak in 2015, Subway had over 27,000 US locations. But by the end of 2024, that number fell below 20,000, a drop of over 7,000 stores, according to Statista and Business Insider. Subway closed one store every 16 hours in North America over the past 3 years. Locations in gas stations, airports, and hospitals are disappearing rapidly. The Eat Fresh image has faded, replaced by bad headlines and tired interiors. Sales have fallen over 20% in many states, and the brand is no longer synonymous with health. It's now linked with shortcuts and skepticism. The scandals didn't help. In 2020, Ireland's Supreme Court ruled Subway's bread too sugary to qualify as real bread. In 2021, a New York Times investigation revealed its tuna may not even contain tuna, and the damage runs deeper. Subway's former spokesperson Jared Fogle was convicted for heinous crimes in 2015, permanently staining the brand's wholesome image. Customers complain about limp vegetables, soggy bread, and robotic service. Jersey Mike's slices fresh meats in front of you. Firehouse Subs lets you taste the warmth. Subway feels cold, both literally and emotionally. People don't feel served. They feel processed. For middle-class Americans trying to eat a little better without going broke, Subway was once the only real choice. Now, it's disappearing. Towns lose affordable options. Seniors with diabetes lose their go-to lunch. Workers return to greasy alternatives. And what's left isn't just hunger, but a sense of being abandoned. Number 8, Dairy Queen. For decades, Dairy Queen was the taste of summer. Small towns in the Midwest and South revolved around its soft-serve cones, sundaes, and blizzards. But since 2022, over 300 locations have closed. Traffic has dropped nearly 25% in once thriving states like Iowa and Kentucky. Many stores near parks and roadside stops report revenue declines over 18%. Outdated interiors, slow service, and unchanging menus have made DQ feel irrelevant. While competitors offer dairy-free and health-conscious options, Dairy Queen remains stuck in the early 2000s. Viral videos show underwhelming blizzards, sloppy burgers, and melting cones. Sanitation issues have surfaced in states like Texas and Georgia. This collapse hurts more than numbers. Rural children lose their summer treat. Retirees lose a gathering spot. Workers lose an affordable midday break. If DQ vanishes, communities won't just lose ice cream. They'll lose a symbol of warmth, memory, and escape a sweetness this country may never taste again. Number 9, Hardees. Once a breakfast staple of rural and southern America, Hardees was the go-to for early risers truckers, farmers, shift workers offering scratch-made biscuits and hearty bacon in a no-frills setting. But from 2019 to 2024, over 200 locations shut down, especially in Missouri and West Virginia. As long-haul travel and interstate traffic dropped, Hardees lost its core customer base. After merging with Carl's Jr., the brand lost identity, confusing menus, weak branding, and outdated interiors. Yelp reviews now warn of dirty restrooms, slow service, and uninviting stores. Meanwhile, chains like Culver's modernized their image and breakfast menus in small towns. Locals now face mornings with nothing but cold convenience store sandwiches for elderly residents. The loss of Hardees isn't just about food, it's about losing a familiar gathering place. If even this modest breakfast outpost can vanish, what's left for those waking up before dawn across forgotten rural America? Number 10, Jack in the Box. In the American West, Jack in the Box once meant freedom, hot tacos, and burgers at 2 a.m., open lights on lonely highways. Yet since 2022, over 80 locations have closed, with foot traffic down sharply in places like Las Vegas and Santa Monica. The decline in nightlife, tourism, and rising crime after dark hit hard. Jack's bloated menu confuses customers, stores are poorly lit, and reviews cite grime and disinterest. Competitors like In-N-Out thrive with minimalism and clean branding, while Jack falls further out of touch with Gen Z, once a favorite of students and night shift workers. Its disappearance leaves a void after midnight for many lower-income and immigrant communities. Jack wasn't just fast food, it was a reliable friend in tough hours. As those doors shutter, another quiet thread of late-night American life unravels, one that may never be rewoven. Number 11, Popeyes. Popeyes exploded in 2019 with its viral spicy chicken sandwich, turning chaos into headlines. But since then, the hype has faded. Over 200 stores have closed or stagnated, especially in low-income neighborhoods. Customer satisfaction dropped sharply. People complain of long waits, inconsistent food, and missing menu items. Unlike rivals like Chick-fil-A or Raising Cane's, Popeyes failed to scale its quality. Stores vary wildly. Some serve crispy joy. Others hand out soggy regret. And while competitors refined their menus and service, Popeyes stayed stuck, hoping one sandwich could do it all. In urban communities, Popeyes was more than a meal, it was the end-of-the-week treat. A warm escape from routine. Now, for many working Americans, it's vanished from their streets, replaced by gas stations and silence. When even comfort food becomes unpredictable and inaccessible, how long before trust in all familiar flavors disappears too? Number 12, Boston Market. Boston Market once brought the comfort of home-cooked meals to those with no time to cook. From full rotisserie chickens to mashed potatoes and steamed corn, it filled a unique niche hearty. Familiar meals without the fast food feel. But by early 2025, fewer than 300 stores remain, down from over 1,100 in the early 2000s. In 2023 alone, more than 120 locations shut down. Scandals, including temporary shutdowns in New Jersey for unpaid wages and food safety violations, damaged public trust. Unlike faster, cheaper options like Costco Food Court or Sweetgreen, Boston Market struggled with outdated formats, slow service, and no digital engagement. For single parents, retirees, and workers craving a real meal after a long day, its decline means turning to frozen dinners or overpriced takeout. As this quiet chain fades, so too does a rare middle ground between fast food and fine dining that once held America together. Number 13, Checkers and Rallies. Checkers and Rallies thrived on speed and affordability, serving drive-through burgers and curly fries from compact, no seating buildings. But that same model is now dragging it down. In the past 3 years, the chain has closed more than 25% of its stores nationwide. Many locations in Florida and Ohio are abandoned or operating at half capacity. Critics cite soggy fries, cold burgers, and rising prices. Unlike competitors like Five Guys, Checkers failed to modernize with delivery apps or indoor seating. Loyal customers, especially night shift workers and urban communities, feel abandoned. Its appeal was once its simplicity: hot food, no wait, low price. Now, that value is gone. The double drive-through has become a ghost lane. And in cities where Checkers once stood as a working-class comfort, what remains are empty lots and unanswered cravings. Another brand from the 90s slipping quietly into memory. Number 14, Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. was once a fast food upgrade, juicier burgers, bold flavors, and a vibe that felt cooler than McDonald's. But since 2020, over 150 stores have closed. In places like California and Nevada, locations near airports and tourist hubs are vanishing as travel declines. Combos now cost over $13, sparking backlash as quality stagnates. The brand's identity crisis blending with Hardees leaves customers unsure where they're even eating, while rivals like Shake Shack and In-N-Out refine their branding and menus. Carl's Jr. sticks with calorie-heavy meals that alienate health-conscious younger audiences, for students and workers. It once meant a lunch that was fast yet satisfying. Now, it's priced like premium but feels second-rate. The fluorescent signs still glow, but inside, fewer customers walk through the doors. If a burger chain can't tell you what it stands for anymore, how can it ask you to stay loyal? Number 15, Arbys. Arbys once stood apart with its thin-sliced roast beef sandwiches, curly fries, and tangy sauces, something heartier than a burger. Yet not quite a steakhouse. But from 2020 to early 2025, over 150 stores have closed nationwide. Key markets like Indiana and Kentucky saw double-digit traffic declines, especially near highway stops and tourist outlets. Critics say Arbys stuck with heavy meats and dated interiors, while rivals like Jersey Mike's modernized. It missed digital trends, lacked a delivery app, and stayed invisible to Gen Z, for workers and drivers needing hot, protein-rich meals without grease. Arbys filled a crucial gap. Now, those same people face colder, costlier alternatives in towns with few food options. Its absence hits harder than most expect. While Jimmy John's customizes fast and fresh, Arbys lingers in a past that fewer Americans want to revisit. Number 16, Sparrow. Sparrow symbolized mall food in the 1990s: oversized pizza slices, bubbling cheese, and a quick, comforting bite during a family shopping trip. But its story crumbled with the death of the mall. From over 1,000 global stores in 2004, fewer than 270 remain in the US today. After 2 bankruptcies and a retail exodus, Sparrow lost foot traffic and never built a delivery presence. Unlike Domino's or Blaze Pizza, it skipped the tech wave and modern trends. Its product, greasy slices and wax paper, no longer excites a generation raised on customizable, fresh-baked pies. For working-class families, Sparrow once meant a satisfying meal under fluorescent lights after long errands. Now, only empty counters remain. While MOD Pizza lets customers build their own artisan pizza, Sparrow sticks to a one-size-fits-all past that's grown cold. When even the restaurants we once turned to for comfort, connection, and a simple, affordable meal begin to vanish. It's not just about food, it's about the slow disappearance of stability in everyday life. These closures aren't isolated, they're signals of a country drifting apart from its working people, of memories being replaced with empty storefronts, and of a future where the last affordable bite may no longer exist at all. What's left when even that is gone?